Good evening, Final Fantasy fans! Welcome to Week 6 of the Final Fantasy Spring 2020 Tournament, Monte Chaos' Casino. This is Game 1 of Chaos Week. Our runners tonight are Grendylicius and lifereboot. My name is Sunny, and I am joined here in the booth tonight by Dr. Funkin. Dr. Funkin, how are you tonight?
I'm doing just wonderful. Glad to be here commentating on some lovely rando action in the 1 in 4 bracket of Swiss. How about you?
I am doing extremely well. I am super happy to be commentating this game tonight. I've seen a couple of Grindy and lifereboot's games, and frankly, I've been kind of impressed with them, even though they are both 1 in 4.
That's the nature of rando, though. It can be anyone's game on any given night. And it looks like our racers are off. And you may have noticed that both players are using the same party. They did choose to draft. Ooh, we've got Lit 3 in Black Magic. That'll be a great sweeper early off. So, one player picked the first character, the next player picked the next two, and the first player once again picked the final character. So, they will be using the same party.
That is correct, and it looks like lifereboot had won the coin toss to get the first pick, but deferred to second. Grindy picked a white mage first. Lifereboot took the fighter and the thief, and then Grindy took the black mage. So Grindy is responsible for all the magic in this case, but it turned out to be a pretty standard party.
4,000 gold tents, not the worst I've seen, but still not what you want to see for a save item right out the gate.
It could be so much worse. It could just be that the housing market is super inflated and they're just going to be all the way screwed.
Certainly could be. So, this week we are on Chaos Flag. Sunny, do you mind telling us what that means?
Absolutely. For the Monte Chaos Casino, as I understand it, there have been different weeks. We've had a week for each elemental dungeon, but Chaos Week means that there is no incentive dungeon, which means that instead of there being 2 loose and 1 dungeon that has 1 definite incentive item, there are 3 loose items out there. And the item pool does include a few what they call whammy items, which includes the Opal Cheerio, the Thor Hammer, and the Power Gauntlet.
Absolutely, and while those might be whammies and that they're not going to help you progress, when you've got a white mage around, I wouldn't call the Opal Cheerio a whammy.
I also generally don't disagree with the Thor Hammer normally, but since we do have Lit 3 in that first slot, probably not going to see as much use as I would usually get out of it.
You know who doesn't like seeing Lit 3 in that first slot? It's Garland, because he is done.
Yeah, he got lit up, and the princess and the king have a cube and TNT. So the TNT is probably going to provoke a pretty quick trip over to the dwarves. The cube kind of not useful, except for maybe playing with the Rubik's Cube.
Definitely, definitely. Glad to see the king giving us some explosives. It would be nice to see what Narek's got for us today. Will the dwarves be lazy, or will he send us somewhere else? Stay tuned to find out, Randomaniacs.
So the white magic is not super impressive for level 1. It's got Invis 2 and Heal 2, which are decent. Invis 2 can be kind of taken up if you can find the white shirt, but Heal 2, kind of rather see Heal 3. Take what you can get though, right?
Absolutely, though I will say that having Invis 2 that early is helpful even with a white shirt, because maybe you bring the maybe the thief dies early on and you bring him back later, give him the white shirt in their inventory, and then you can cast 2 Invis 2s, and if Kraken's mean in Topher, then that'll be worthwhile.
Oh hey, you know who likes lightning even less than Garland? Pirates!
Yeah, Bicky doesn't look too happy about this. Oh, he's got some lovely herb for us.
Oh, looks like Grindy might have forgotten to talk to Vicky to get that herb.
Uh-oh, I hope he remembers on his way back up.
Pretty cheap cabins, so, not too brokenhearted about those tents anymore.
Definitely not. Come on, Grandy. Oh no, Grandy's going the wrong way.
Oh no. That is not good. Oh, Cure 4 in White Magic. That is a very happy spell.
And it's not tag teaming with anything else. Oh, Temper and Fast in level 2 Black Magic? Normally you'd like to see those in separate slots, but at level 2 you'll have enough cast, it's not going to matter.
And some cake just around that particular level off. Stop doesn't really mean much to a lot of people, I've noticed.
No, not so much. But I could go for some cake right about now. I haven't had dessert yet.
Yeah, but I mean, I think this cake was just a big lie. It's an old reference, but it still checks out.
Hardy har har.
And Grindy never did talk to Bicky. Oh dear.
That could be massive. It's going to depend on if the herb leads us to more progression or if it leads to one of our whammy items.
Now, to be completely fair, these runners are 1 and 4, which means they are unfortunately not going to be able to get into the last chance race. So this match kind of just fun for them. So I mean, maybe he's not all that worried about it getting there fast and just putting on a show for us.
Yeah, and it looks like Grendy and Life Reboot are both going to go up and see Grandma in her cave.
I'm not sure how much I really agree with this particular play. Something stoned that White Mage on Grindy's side.
That. Yeah, it seems a little out there considering that you have the TNT. Oh, well, we got a loose slab though, so I guess we can't say it was all for naught.
I mean, we can certainly say that, we're just gonna be wrong. But on the topic of going up to Matoya's cave, since we have that TNT, I would be much more inclined to go ahead and go visit the dwarves first and see if maybe they don't have the crystal in one of their chests, or maybe a stick of TNT might blow the crystal out of a wall somewhere, or maybe that herb becomes the crystal.
Absolutely.
There's a few options.
I would definitely agree with checking the incentive locations first, especially since you don't have the crystal and you could end up grabbing it. Then it ends up just being you have to double dip.
And that's never a fun trip to make, especially when there's something out there that's turning people to stone.
Absolutely. And it looks like the dwarves don't have much, but that wear sword is better than no sword for the fighter.
Where sword? Their sword.
Who sword? What sword?
No, that's in the Dr. Seuss randomizer. We're not playing that. We get a key for
that
TNT.
Is a lovely thing to see at Narek, considering you get all these chests right off the bat.
That does seem like a decent reward for giving him a stick of TNT. Basically just says, hey, come into my fortress, have whatever you like.
Unfortunately, there wasn't much in the fortress aside from money, though it does help set him up for the rest of this seed.
That is absolutely right. At this point in the seed, I'm not too disappointed to see a few thousand gold just to hooray!
Hooray!
Just to get a setup, I'm not unhappy to see. What is it about? 13,000 gold out of all that?
Yeah, roughly. Plus, whatever the power stick sells for.
I still don't know what that power stick does. If it's just another piece of kindling with a fancy name.
Yeah, you can set it on fire. Sometimes you can sell it. Who knows what it's going to sell for in the randomizer. Looks like it's Sahags with the stone touch, as they just annihilated Life Reboot there.
That's never a happy thing to see, but at least we're getting that stone touch out of the way quick. We know nothing else in the seed is going to have it.
True, but if this ends up being a seed where you go a long time without seeing the floater, Sahags are everywhere.
Yeah, they are. But it could still be so much worse. That it could be on the red Sahags, since, as we know later in the seed, where Sea Shrine is concerned, that is an unrunnable encounter with the Wiz Sahags.
That absolutely would be worse for trying to get through that, but for now, it's definitely gonna trip up our runners a little bit in the early game.
So I do see that Grindy has exactly one soft. How much do those cost? Those are running kind of mid-range for what I've seen.
Yeah, 682 isn't terrible. And while he's taking care of that, Life Reboot, ooh, finds an ice sword in the castle treasury. Love
Oh,
to
that's
see
cool.
that. How dare you?
Oh, come on, like you didn't see that coming.
Alright, and, well, we've got the ice sword now. Very cool, as you said. And, now, maybe Life Reboot will show us what the, prince is gonna give us for that herb.
Yeah, since Life Reboot's the only one who can show us that at this point. I just hope it doesn't come back to bite Grindy in the butt later.
Yeah, I hope that this, for Grendy's sake, that this is either a whammy or a, leads to another fetch item that leads to a whammy.
My prediction, it's going to be Floater.
I'm gonna go with Canoe.
Alright, yeah, that's fair enough. Either way, if it's not Canoe, I'm thinking the only other real option is gonna be in Marsh.
Yeah, we're running out of places to check without a Canoe. Ooh, Chime, we might be going to Marsh.
Oh my, the elves appear to be stowing some good stuff in their backyard shed there, a ribbon and a katana.
Ooh, I
I'd
missed
rather
that.
enjoy
That's
this shed.
fantastic. Oh, and flame armor? Yeah, this is great stuff. Ooh, level 3 Bane and level 3 Quad X. That's some pretty decent death magic.
I've never said no to Bane. Nothing amazing in the white magic though, so white magic kind of falling on its face.
Yeah, that white mage isn't looking too useful. Will level 4 help us out? Well, we're not going to find out yet. We're going to black first. Ice 3, not bad.
It's another AoE and it means you don't have to pick up Lit too.
Oh, and Grendy, I might be planning on banning that white mage, considering they completely skipped level 4 white magic.
You know, I can't really blame him at this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I blame him either. Like, with how lackluster white magic has been overall, Danning, and the fact that you've already got a katana, keeping the thief up may be the right play.
You know, I've asked around a little bit. I never got an answer. Where does the term Danning
Level
come
4,
from?
white, life 2, so Life Reboot is probably not going to be Danning that white mage anytime soon.
Yeah, suddenly Danning that thing doesn't make a lot of sense. Grindy should really go check that level 4 white magic out before he commits to the white mage being a permanent statue.
Absolutely. Anyway, you asked where Danning comes from. I do not actually know the history in the rando community. I just assumed that someone was a big Street Fighter fan, and so they were just making jokes about how Dan is the worst character.
You know, that was my thought at first. Dan Hibiki kind of being the joke of Street Fighter. Almost a lethal joke character, except for the lethal part.
Exactly, but with how quickly Dan falls to just about any opponent, it seemed appropriate to me. Well, looks like Grendy's gonna unlock the chests over in the Northwest Castle and find basically nothing of worth. Ooh, ghosts on that trap tile. You do not want to see those this early.
Unrunnable ghosts at that.
Even better. Wait, did I say better? I meant so much worse.
Oh no, you were right the first time. It's absolutely better for us.
Fair enough.
But now that Grindy knows that there is nothing super interesting out in Astos' shed, there's really no reason not to have just reset right on out of there.
Darren Drees in the chat letting us know that Ace, Bill, Cal, and Dan were names used for a lot of people, and usually the fourth character was put to sleep to help distribute XP better. And so that is where the name Dan comes from, the term Danning.
Alright, well, hey, duckling food for thought.
But yeah, with that, with the herb turning into the chime, Grendy is gonna have to go back and talk to Vicky at some point, because otherwise he's not gonna be able to go into Sky.
That is true, but the fact remains that it is not an immediately useful item, so it's not super pressing, I don't think. Making his way into Marsh is the only other play right now, and doing that a little bit early is probably for the best. Life Reboot seeing that unrunnable ghost tile and noping his way right on out of that.
As I could not blame Life Reboot for that at all. Yeah, my only worry is that, at least when I play, is that the further away I get from a mistake like that, the less likely I am to remember it.
So far, Grindy has pulled a Great Axe and a Heel Helm out of the upper floor of Marsh. So, what's your opinion on Marsh? Are you on Team Never Marsh or Always Marsh?
Just from how much I played this game as a kid, I actually, as tough as it is, I enjoyed Marsh Cave, so I'm team mostly Marsh. I go Marsh when I absolutely shouldn't frequently. But there's the canal.
Canal, alright. Canal is a good thing, but it is not it is always loose, but it is not one of our loose items. So there are still 2 loose items out there somewhere.
True, but it is still progression that's going to get us out of the inner sea and get us finding more key items.
Grindy finding an unrunnable encounter in the form of an arachnid, a spider, and a muck. Ruse mucks, so that's gonna be fun.
Ugh, you hate to see a ruse on an unrunnable encounter. Luckily, the fighter takes it down with his nice ice sword, and Grendy's able to keep making his way through Marsh.
If he really wants to. At this point, he may not be too keen on sticking around. He already got the canal, and he may just be hoping that there's nothing else in there, even though there are keylock chests down there. He has the entire place open to him.
Yeah, at this point, already being here, I would probably clear all of Marsh at this point, especially since I've got the key.
And it looks like that is exactly what he's going to do. Not in any immediate danger, it doesn't look like. He's got over 100 health on all of his living characters.
Yeah,
so I
far,
might be inclined to stick that thief in that first slot to avoid ambushes.
Definitely a good thought there. But yeah, so far Marsh hasn't had much in the way of teeth. It does have that one annoying unrunnable encounter, but it didn't seem particularly lethal.
Of course, you may have just completely cursed everything, just saying that.
Well, yeah, where's the fun in this if we don't curse them a little? And it looks like Life Reboot is leaving without going to the bottom floor of Marsh.
Oh, so this is going to be information that Grindy has that Life Reboot doesn't, for a change.
This could be good. If there's a loose item down here that Grendy finds and Life Reboot leaves for a bit, could be good for Grendy.
Got a couple of mad ponies on what I think is a spike tile in front of that chest.
Yeah, it sure looked that way.
These runners have to be hoping that they find the floater sooner rather than later so they can avoid the high seas. Anything with Stone Touch being on the ocean, never fun.
Yeah, and don't they also have to find the canoe as well in order to turn in their floater?
Yes, they do. But even still, finding canoe before floater still means you have to go sailing.
Yes and no. You could always walk from Elfland over to Crescent Lake and the volcano and ice cave.
You know, fair enough. Oh, Life Reboot going to check the Temple of Fiends lock chest. Gonna find out what that spike tile and those, 3 chests are?
Yeah, I'm be intrigued to see what's going on here. It doesn't look like Grendy's found much in the bottom of marsh yet.
Oozes and arachnids doesn't seem like anything bad, but I haven't seen what oozes have.
Well, Grendy found some 300 plus gold in the locked key chest in marsh.
Ooh, something in that group has poison touch, it looks like.
Yeah, but they're taken care of now, so Grendy can move on, hopefully. Well, that gold bracelet isn't necessarily progression, but it is nice to find on Life Reboot's side.
Absolutely, especially with the gold bracelet's tendency to basically require your entire life savings and then some just to buy here lately.
Yeah, I have not been able to buy a gold bracelet in the last 4 seeds that I've run personally.
Alright, so we have the canal, we have the key. Where do we go from here, I wonder?
Well, at this point, we've seen all of the key lock chests, so, I mean, Life Reboot hasn't seen the one in March, but we have. So, at this point, we don't have the Ruby, so I'm probably gonna not bother with Melmond at this point and just sail to Crescent Lake and see what we've got for an incentive item there, see if that pulls us in a direction.
That sounds like a fair plan to me, and if it was me, I would go straight for Ice Cave, or, well, maybe not. If I had Warp, I would go to Ice Cave, but since they don't have Warp, Volcano sounds so much more attractive.
I can agree with that statement. Life Reboot doing the veteran move of remembering to translate the slab while at Melmond. You love to see it.
Now, remind me, translating that slab, does that actually remove it from your inventory? Also, level 5 Fade. Let's mention that while it's there. And level 5 Nuke.
Alright, so that's where all of our good magic was. I actually am not sure if it removes it from your inventory or not. That's not something I've actually looked at.
If it's like the... Caleb in Twitch chat helping us out, it does remove it, so that can actually backfire on him if he decides to just have a look in his inventory and doesn't see it there, might forget he translated it.
Definitely a possibility, unless they, Life Reboot has been, tracking what items they have and have not found. Ooh, what was going on? Looked like a real rough encounter for Life Reboot there.
Unfortunately, I was busy watching and see what Grindy was up to, but
Looked like a Whiz Ogre and some cats, and just took him right out.
yeah, that sounds about par for the course.
Oh yeah, look at Life Reboot's inventory there. No slab.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. This is a bold play from Life Reboot, getting the upper level of Earth. I don't disagree with it at all, but those mummies do.
Yeah, those mummies with their stinger are more annoying than actually dangerous. Looks like we got Caribs and Gators on the spike tile. Not really exciting or especially dangerous.
It looks like Grindy has absolutely committed to just leaving that white mage as a stone statue, even though Life 2 is on level 4. He doesn't know that.
And Fade at level 5, like that, those are still low enough level that you'll get plenty of charges out of them.
Grindy really does not appreciate anything that decides to come on board a ship. Hey, there's item number 2, an adamant in the upper levels of Earth.
That paid right off for Life Reboot.
Absolutely, and I'm betting this adamant becomes a canoe.
Sounds like a good call to me. However, since you picked Floater last time I picked Canoe, I'm going to go ahead and pick Floater while you pick Canoe.
But you know that sounds fair.
After all, where's the fun if we're betting on the same thing all the time?
Well, I mean, this is the Monte Chaos Casino, right?
Exactly. Let's make it interesting.
Oh yeah, we haven't exactly seen Crescent Lake yet, have we?
Nope, Grendy is just about there though, so we will be seeing it momentarily. Caleb saying Canoe at Crescent Lake and Adamant being the floater for loose floater hype.
Well, we are proven wrong very quickly. The floater is for sale in Crescent Lake for about 27 grand.
Well then. Completely forgot we hadn't seen the item for sale yet. And there's the Canoe at Crescent Lake. Oh, you got it. Though I guess both the floater and the Canoe are at Crescent Lake.
Wow, okay. And the floater's not the most expensive thing in the world either. 27 grand is on the... I'm not gonna say on the cheap end, because I've seen vendor items for 4 digits, but certainly less than it probably could be. It probably should be. This is Crazy Earl's used airship yard.
Yeah, that's cheap enough that I might try and use the power cycle to see if I can find some giants around Crescent Lake here to just grind the gold real quick.
I see, that's where you and I would differ. I would just, since we got the Canoe, I would head straight into Volcano and hit that armory.
Also a smart plan. Probably a smarter plan.
Okay, so I have to re-guess what that adamant is going to be, and
yeah, we both do.
Okay, so we know where Floater is, we know where the Canoe is, we know where the herb is.
Oh nope, it's the Cheerio.
The blacksmith decided to take that adamant and bang it out into a ring and insert a nice gem for it. That is now a opal ring. Gonna be fantastic for the white mage.
Yeah, we've got great armor for both mages. Don't have to worry about purchasing any, which means that we don't have to feel too bad about saving up some cash to get that floater on Life Reboot's side.
The exception might be if he runs across relatively cheap pro rings, because those are always nice to get a hold of earlier rather than later.
Oh, definitely, but we don't have to buy Cheerios for our mages, which is where things always tend to trip me up. Looks like Grendy's doing a Peed grind, which, you know, not a bad plan. You can get some nice early XP out of them.
As long as the Peeds are feeling nice, because I've had it to where they are downright toxic.
Oh yeah, I've seen that myself, but it looks like he's been doing this a little bit, and it does seem to be going okay. They don't seem to have anything especially nasty. Up into the double digits for levels now, not a bad place to be.
You know, I'm inclined to agree and disagree at the same time, just purely because of what I usually like to see. If I'm running Fighter Thief, I don't especially like having levels early, because I really like getting those spell charges on a Knight and Ninja as soon as I possibly can. Though granted, the magic isn't super impressive for the Knight. For the Ninja, having more fast and temper would be really valuable.
Yeah, that's true. You can't go wrong with some of that early magic. Oh god, Zap from the Trolls takes out both the Fighter and the Thief.
Troll's gonna troll.
Oh, it's always nice to see the Seed rolling out the trolly stuff right early.
I have never met a troll I liked. The encounter that usually sums up most of my seed is trolls and bulls.
Oh, level 6 exit.
And heal 3.
Not bad spells, though. I'm not sure whether they were class change locked or not.
That's a very good question. Maybe Twitch Chat can help us out on that one. Apparently level 6 black is open for the black mage, so that's really good to know. We see some more flame armor there in the Crescent Lake armor shop.
That was selling, actually.
Oh, is
looks
it?
like
Okay.
Life Reboot's trying to sell some stuff. I'm pretty sure flame armor cannot be bought, but Life Reboot was trying to get that gold for that floater.
Yeah, not in this flag set. There are flags where it could potentially be bought. The Power Stick selling for a cool 3,000. Almost there to that floater for Life Reboot.
Yeah, now we sell that Were Sword, we should be there. Caleb suggesting we sell the katana, which honestly, not a bad idea. It might, at this point, it may be worth putting the thief up front to, 1, help negate some ambushes, and 2, make them dan a little quicker so that you can get some extra levels on your other 3 party members.
I mean, yeah, no, because the black magic early is good enough that you just about want that ninja alive.
True enough, though, you can always bring the ninja back later and still get him up to some respectable levels, because even at level 23, you're going to be hitting a lot. However, here we are at 38 minutes and 54 seconds, and we are in the air for Life Reboot.
Yeah, it looks like we're in the air for Grindy, too. Both of them hitting that used airship lot pretty quick.
And Life Reboot going directly to Sarda, while Grendy goes over to check out what's in the armory. Ooh, Sarda's got a ruby for us, so we can go right up to the incentivized Titan's Cave.
Well, I mean, if Sarda just basically says, "Here, go over there and give this to that nice Titan fellow. I baked it myself."
Yeah, he sure did. I'm waiting on pins and needles to see what this Titan's got for us.
I'm much more interested in Grindy's play. I want to know what's in this armory. That armory has never failed to disappoint. Thank you, thank you. I'll be here all week. Crystal in Titan's Trove.
It sure was. So, yeah, it looks like we could have skipped out on Matoya until now, and it would have been a much quicker check.
Yeah, I mean, yeah and no at the same time, because you already have the slab translated, so you could just as well go up and visit Lupa Lupa Land.
Good point. Oh, and she only had the Thor hammer anyway.
Not a huge loss for anything, really. I usually like having a Thor hammer, even if I've got all that wonderful AoE on my black mage. I'll like throw it to a white mage or a thief or something, and then I have one mere character throwing out AoEs.
Yeah, at this point in the game, it's not bad to throw on the white mage until they start getting enough level 5 charges that they can start rocking some fades.
Speaking of going to Lupa Lupa Land, looks like Life Reboot's doing that exact thing.
Darren Dree's pointing out that it's hard to skip Matoya unless you already have Canal. Considering Canal was in Marsh, yeah, it's entirely likely they wouldn't have skipped Matoya before going there.
You know, fair enough. So, the armory in Volcano, not looking too great for anything.
Lupa's got a crown for us.
I'd probably be a little more excited about that if we didn't already know the chests in that general area are pretty much garbage.
The chests are garbage, but that doesn't mean that the kindly old king won't have something nice for us.
I want so badly to disagree, but I can't.
After all, someone's got to find something nice. Grendy found, what, all of Bupkis in the armory?
Yeah, and that is a really high item density to not find anything in. So probably going to find something pretty good in Sky. That's another really high item density thing.
Plus, we got Sky access really fast.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If I see a chime in a cube that quick, Sky is on my mind right away.
Alright, let's go return the crown to the kindly old king, see what he's got for us. Oh, a power bong. How lovely. Oh my god, it was Astos all along?!
Well, you didn't know that? I mean, I play golf with him every Sunday.
This is the biggest shock in my video game playing career.
If that's the biggest shock in your video game playing career, I got some bad news for you too.
What bad news would that be?
Turns out, 2,000 years ago, Garland is actually Chaos.
What?!
Yeah, I know, right? Perilous, usually a pretty dang good grind encounter for Grindy, I'm sure. Right back into the commentary.
They got Rub.
They've got Toxic.
Oh, they've got Toxic and Rub. How wonderful.
So, the
Defense
Perilous
Sword over in the Cardia Islands.
Hey, the Charizard's having some good stuff today. Maybe they'll also have a ribbon.
We could use one of those right about now.
I believe we saw one of those, at least one of those, didn't we?
I haven't seen one yet.
Hey, there's a pro ring. Yeah, there was one ribbon coming from somewhere.
Well, alright then.
I remember there was. I think it was in the same place as the katana. There was. Yeah, there we go. The Elephant Armory was loaded.
That's right. I remember you saying that now.
So Grindy looking like he might just go ahead and full clear fire.
I don't hate it. Getting an orb lit early does help you feel in control of the seed.
Oh no, I never hate seeing just getting an orblet at all. If you're in there and you're gonna loot the chests, you may as well hit the orb. Whole bunch of gold being found over there though, so I mean, if you still need that floater, you'd be in good shape, but he doesn't, so...
Oof. And their thief goes down on Grendy's side to a red Hydro, which looks like it's hitting pretty hard.
Ooh, I like this treasure room. It is, never failed to give me something I want. Even that soft is relatively nice, since soft dispel wasn't present in any of the white magic so far.
Yeah, and this spike tile with 3 fires that seem to be hitting like pillows is not too bad to see either.
So this could be Grindy going to 2-man strats, which I know is pretty common for one of the runners higher up in the bracket stages.
Yeah, it's a little risky, but if you've got the magic and the defense to pull it off, then you're gonna power them up real fast by skipping out on experience on 2 characters.
Once again, though, I really don't agree with danning the White Mage just for the fact that Life 2 is pretty much readily available, but not to a knight.
Yeah, Darren Drees pointing out that Grendylicius is also a fan of the 2-man strats and has been learning on how to do those, so it is very possible that they're just gonna go Fighter Black Mage.
Well, let's see if that pays out. Lifereboot's gonna have some fun with these trolling trolls. Wasn't that fun?
She trolled the trolls right back with some Bane, so...
Going to Waterfall, I don't disagree with that. Waterfall is just such a super simple check. I say that right as these toxic Paralisks appear.
Yeah, those Paralisks are a little scary. Thankfully, they're not too common.
So, Volcano producing a second ribbon, so that's 2 out of 3 found.
Well, that's real nice when you're only running 2 party members.
Yeah, can't hardly argue with it.
Ooh, and we got some seafood and the spike tile there. Go back to the water cave, you're drunk.
Welcome to Carrie's place, where the seafood cooks itself just by being here.
That would be delicious if I wasn't so allergic.
I've never liked lobster personally, but that's me. Not even gonna go over to the what would have been an incentive chest last week. Don't think I blame them. There's 2 spike tiles over there that could be bad news bears.
Well, we already know one of them is going to be the seafood from the floor above, so yeah, I don't blame Grendy at all for skipping out on that chest for now.
I mean, the other one could have been a third eye grind, so I mean, he could possibly be missing out. We will never know.
Well, here's hoping that 3-eye grind is somewhere else and they're leading a semi-charmed life and able to find it.
And I think we blinked and missed Carrie. She went down in just a couple rounds.
And so that'll be our first orb lit at 48:59. Or sorry, 40:59. Had a little trouble telling the difference between the O's and the 8s here.
So apparently there was this little guy in a green tunic that decided to visit the wrong ice cave. Dropped a bottle with a fairy in it for a robot to pick up.
Well then, that's yet more progression for us. Now, how do you feel about going to Waterfall before going to Ordeals when you don't currently have Oxyale to get you into the Water Temple as well?
Since nobody has Warp to be able to get through Ordeals especially easily, I don't disagree with it. Waterfall is just a really straightforward check. You're in, you're out. Don't have to worry about a whole lot. Ordeals can kind of eat up your time with the 4-pillar room.
Seems pretty reasonable.
Also, we do have the bottle, which, once we go ahead and go visit Gaia, who knows what that's going to be. I'm betting a tail, though.
Well, it's got to be something useful at this point, because we found all of our whammy items.
I mean, yes and no. It doesn't necessarily have to be useful. That's why I'm saying tail. That's not super amazingly useful. It's nice to have, but it is not a key item that is going to put us in go mode.
It's not a key item that's going to put us at go mode, but getting the tail like right now, so that you can start getting those spell charges that we covet so much on, especially if you're planning to keep all 4 of your party members alive, would be better to see it sooner than later.
So Granny's gonna go find out what's in the Titan's Trove. Still hasn't gotten his herb from Vicky. Maybe now that he's got a crystal and a reason to go back to the Inner Sea, he'll remember, oh yeah, I never talked to Vicky. I never got whatever the heck he's got.
Absolutely, we can only hope. Darendry is also pointing out that we've got some opal armor as well as the defense sword, which would be another reason why finding tails sooner rather than later would be a big benefit.
I mean, yeah, but as obviously Life Reboot has already shown us, you don't need the tail to go talk to the Charizards. Or, talk around the Charizards, because you really don't want to waste your time talking to them.
Absolutely not. Not without NPC Guillotine on. Oh, hey, we got relatively cheap pro rings.
Wait, did Life Reboot just sell the Power Bonk?
I sure hope not.
I swear I just saw him sell the Power Bonk. What was I? What was I hallucinating?
I hope
Chat,
that was
help us
the
out
stick.
here. What, was I just hallucinating that?
I thought they already sold the power stick. Did they?
Hey, called it.
Was that the tail there? Yeah.
It's a fairy tale. Wow. That's some expensive opal armor. So I guess that if you really wanted to sell opal armor for money, getting your money's worth out of it.
Hey, Sonny, would you mind letting our lovely audience know who's helping us out with restreams and tracking tonight?
You know, I don't think I would mind. For tonight's cast, I am Sunny. With me in the booth is Dr. Funkin. Restreaming is Caleb. And we have two, count them, two trackers today. We have Derendries, and we also have Zodecahedron.
When you've got time, please follow our runners, follow our streamers, follow our trackers. They deserve it.
And also, don't forget to follow Randomania.
Yeah, I would hope you're already following Randomania. This channel offers so much entertainment.
Wow, nothing that even resembles a cockatrice's nice today. Throwing out a blizzard from those six little birds.
Are jerks.
You know, I can't contest that.
I don't think Grendy would contest it either with how much they've been picking on him, or pecking on him. And Life Reboot, now promoted, was able to equip a lot of better gear on their fighter and put a katana on that ninja. Oh, we have, unfortunately for the Team Steak versus Team Friend, it is all steak tonight because we have unrunnable Tyros.
No, Tyro friend, how could you? Oh, that makes me sad, though. So, Grindy going to Ice Cave. Don't necessarily disagree with this.
Yeah,
But then again, he doesn't know where the chime is, so he can't go to Sky. Neither of them have found the Rod or the Oxyale, so the other two dungeons are off the table. I think maybe Ice Cave was one of two options Grindy had left.
yeah, it's that or Ordeals at this point.
And speaking of Ordeals, Life Reboot's going to show us exactly what's in there, so lots of information for us, not so much for them.
Definitely not. But here's hoping Life Reboot can make it through this maze in a timely fashion.
The maze is being a troll right away. There have been at least two pillars that send him right back to start.
There's an awful lot of hot air at the bottom of this ice cave.
That's just a bunch of blowhards, no problem.
When you see an Ordeals like this, it makes you glad that the randomizer was able to fix the overflow issue that used to be here, where if you went through too many teleporters, it would soft lock your game.
Oh, I didn't know about that. I'm kind of glad I never played the game as a kid. I'd have gotten so lost.
Yeah, not only as a kid, but when the early days of the randomizer, when those were randomized, but that overflow glitch wasn't fixed yet, oh, those were fun times.
A mage staff and a pro ring coming out of Ordeals. Can't say I'm mad about that.
Oh, and Grendy is taking on some slimes and just says, I've had enough of this, and throws... Oh, wow, slimes rolled real high. That nuke took out only one of them.
Yeah, that's always fun. Some durable slimes. I feel like that's a contradiction in terms.
Well, they are metal slimes, and metal slimes are known for their durability.
Lifereboot pulled out a little bit of a wardrobe change for his black wizard, finding a black shirt.
Not bad, not bad. Now, is the black shirt worth it over the gold Cheerio?
As far as I know, all signs point to yes. The black shirt provides comparable absorb, and it protects from, I think it's time, in addition to be able to cast ice too. So, I mean, there's really no reason not to have it over a gold Cheerio or an opal Cheerio. Oh, it's resistant to ice and time, so, I mean, 2 resists for the price of 1.
Alright then, definitely worthwhile. Oh, see, I would not run from these Saurias. They are great XP.
They're gonna make a very crispy critter out of that black mage, though, so, I mean, I can't really say I blame him for running away.
Yeah, but we didn't know that right off the bat. We just saw Saurias. I would have at least started throwing some magic around before trying to run.
And there is Oxyale in the ice cave. Looks like Grindy might be due for a trip to the Sea Shrine.
Yep, we got potential Sea Shrine for Grendy, and then either Sky or back to Earth for Life Reboot with that rod that came out of Ordeals.
So, since apparently our loose item is the loot, I'm kind of betting that the mermaids are playing some music right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Deep in Earth Cave.
So, Caleb saying Marshlock loot hype. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure Grindy did in fact full clear Marsh. We know there's nothing of interest down there.
Yeah, there was, like, garbage in Marsh.
We found the canal in there and not much else. Oh, last time I pegged loose item, I got the exact chest. So let's see if I can do that again. But we got someone in Twitch chat saying the TFC for loot. I'm not especially a big fan of that. I'm gonna say the third chest that the first person in Sea Shrine checks in the mermaid room is going to have the loot. Very specifically, whichever chest is third.
I'm gonna say the second chest that they check after the vampire floor in Earth.
That would be kind of awesome if it was in Count Chocula's closet. So it looks like potentially just runners trading places. Grindy going to Ordeals. Life Reboot's right near the Ice Cave and Volcano, so Life Reboot picking up Exit, that's a spell that Grindy's not going to have.
It looks like Life Reboot couldn't afford Exit.
For now. See how long that lasts. Oh yeah, we didn't even check out that red D chest in Volcano. The loot could be in there. That would be awful.
Grendy's in so much trouble with not talking to Bicky already. Let's not put that evil on him as well.
Grendy's in all kinds of trouble.
Oh gosh, look at all them red gargoyles. Oh, luckily they're hitting like kittens, so...
I'm just glad they don't have any kind of touch.
Yeah, any kind of touch on gargoyles is just terrifying. That is one itchy sweater.
Mummy's having Stinger. Grindy doesn't care because both of his light warriors have ribbons on. Not going to do anything but annoy them slightly. I think the Wiz Mummy had Scorch, also just kind of going to give him a sunburn.
Oh, and they got poison and thunder. Good lord. Mummies are dangerous.
Yeah, usually I like that kind of encounter for grinding, but I'll pass, thanks.
Yeah, I'll go back to the seafood party platter and the volcano before that.
Find me some Gurmaduces. I'll take those. So, Life Reboot making his way into the volcano. Pretty kind of expected play there. I mean, he could have gone back to Earth Cave. He could have gone to Sky, but Volcano is probably the most loot dense and easiest to clear. So, it makes a lot of sense that Volcano is the first one to go.
True, though Life Reboot also still needs to go to that incentive ice cave at some point.
I'm sure he'll make it there eventually. It's not a super high priority when you have 3 other dungeons you could go visit.
Yeah,
in the end, it takes the same amount of time one way or the other, and if you're going into Ice Cave with higher levels, well, more power to you.
True, Ice Cave can be nasty, regardless.
Grindy gonna be happy finding that black shirt for his black mage, finding the rod as well. It does open up Earth Cave. He's got Earth Cave and Sea Shrine available to him. Still no clue where that chime is, though, so just can't go visit Mirage. I almost, and I say almost, would have probably grinded just a tiny bit on that snake and scorpion, or cobra scorpion tile there, since it was there.
Yeah, if they aren't hitting too hard, it's like with how many creatures there are, you can get some decent XP there.
So Life Reboot going to be overall disappointed with what's in the armory. Nothing amazing there. We know that there is a ribbon farther down in the volcano. We also know that this fire elemental tile is relatively decent, though. Not going to take the fight, though.
Nah, Life Reboot had no interest whatsoever in that.
Having a 4-man party, I'm not sure how much I agree. I definitely agree with running from Paralisks.
I don't think Life Reboot has seen how bad Paralisks can get yet. I think they've been pretty lucky in that regard, but yeah, I agree with you. I definitely, especially when they got the ambush and I saw them hitting like kittens, I would have taken that 4 Earth fight, personally.
Interestingly, taking the 5 Argoyles with a quick Ice Shirt Blast, just kind of say, hey, go away.
Yep, and doing the same to the Paralisks, who take it pretty hard, so...
The Paralisks are glass cannons. They are super dangerous, but at the same time, they're super squishy. Gaia having level 8 Rub, not going to be super important for Grindy, I don't think.
Not so much. And he got his crown, which is going to send him back to the Inner Sea at some point.
Well, that's one check he remembered to do at least. Think he'll ever go back and talk to Bicky? I mean, if he's running any kind of tracker of his own, he might have just marked Bicky off without even thinking about it.
Yeah, it's... I sure hope that he figures it out at some point. Because otherwise he's going to end up full clearing everything except Sky and wondering why he can't get in.
Now, granted, we do still have that third loose item out there somewhere, so he might go dive back into Volcano to check the red D chest. That would just be tragic, really. But yeah, he's got to find that. He's got to be thinking that that chime is out there, just kind of hanging out. And for all we know, loot's actually in Sky, so we'll never find it.
Well, I've never seen that interaction before. I didn't realize that if Astos was holding a piece of gear that you couldn't take, the fight doesn't start.
Yeah, otherwise it locks you out of that gear. So
Makes perfect sense. It's just not something I'd seen. It was very entertaining.
There is lifereboot's second ribbon, so there's just one more ribbon out there. A quick tally of the interesting loot that still exists in the world. There's the Masa, the Vorpal sword, the Excalibur, Dragon Armor, Aegis Shield, White Shirt. I think that about sums up the super interesting equipment that's still floating around out there somewhere.
Yeah, most of the really good fighter gear is out there. Like, right now, if I had to pick one of the two to keep alive on Life Reboot's side, if I wanted to try and, like, focus my XP, I might think about knocking down the fighter and trying to use the ninja as my endgame melee.
That would be a very bold strategy.
It would, but you've got ribbons, you've got the Opal Cheerio, you've got a katana.
And you've also got a defense sword, so that the best armor is just not being there.
Pretty much, yeah.
But at that point, you really put a lot of weight on not getting hit at all.
Yeah, sometimes, that's what you gotta do. But yeah, it's definitely a risk, but it's one that I would consider taking if I don't end up seeing any of the requisite fighter gear and swords.
I mean, the fighter, we do have the Opal armor for the fighter, so I mean, it's not all bad. The Opal armor is almost as good as the Dragon armor. Grendy is gonna go pay a visit to the robot.
Gonna go find his fairy tale.
Man, that's a real nightmare right there.
Oh, definitely. Grendy's book this seed so far seems to have been written by the Brothers Grimm. Ooh, we got a Zombie D and a Whiz Vamp in front of the red D chest.
Yeah, I hear that a lot of people like to use these guys for grinds if they're feeling especially nice. And if you have like harm 3, harm 4, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it certainly makes it a little easier to take them down, and they don't seem to be hitting that hard currently.
Unfortunately, they seem just a little bit on the durable side, taking several rounds to take down. So, I mean, it's kind of not worth the resources to grind on them.
And nothing but money in that chest.
Well, at least we know that there's nothing in there. Oh, I'm not sure I like this fight. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't take this.
That's a lot of Whiz Vamps. Yeah, I don't like having absolutely none of them go down after the first round.
Those things are way, way too durable. Using the black shirt instead of the light axe. Undead don't really care about ice too much, but the harm 2 cast by the light axe certainly do a lot more work.
And we're losing party members rapidly.
Life reboot might end up wiping out on this. And there he goes. That's no bueno. So gonna have to go through all that again. Hopefully he remembers to pick up that ribbon again.
Yeah, that was the only, like, super interesting piece of gear coming down through the volcano.
Still, that feels bad to make it all the way to the bottom like that, trying to grind and then, you know, just getting punished for it.
Darren Drees pointing out that that does make up a lot of time for Grendy, but that time isn't going to mean much if he doesn't remember that he has to go back and talk to Bicky.
What are the odds that he knows full well that he didn't talk to Bicky and he's just leaving it till last to mess with us?
I cannot believe that that's the case. I just cannot.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him about it in the post-game interview.
Especially since he went into Marsh.
That life reboot not even going to go after that ribbon again. Is going to go after that the Whizvamp and Zombie D tile again. What the heck is going on here?
I couldn't begin to tell you. I guess they really feel like that's the right place to grind.
Yeah, but why would you leave the ribbon behind? Well, I guess probably not the first thing on his mind right now.
Sports Hefe is asking if the herb locked anything. Yes, it locked the chime, which means it's completely locked us out of Sky and Mirage.
And the herb is on Bicky the Pirate, which Grindy just totally forgot to talk to after defeating his crew. Bicky himself probably not real upset about that, though.
I do have to say, I think Life Reboot did a much better job organizing their items by putting the AoE items on the fighter and the ninja, so that they can spread out the damage a lot better for that spike tile.
To be honest with you, I would probably be much more likely to grind on this tile right here if I have the AoE to handle it, and with Lit 3 at, well, I take that back, one of them has Stun Touch, so,
Yep.
Yeah, never mind, I don't like this tile anymore.
I don't like this tile ever. Lobsters never fail to be jerks.
Grindy did decide to go into Sea Shrine, so we get to have a look at what's in there. Doesn't look like he's gonna go for Mermaid side though, so that might be a misplay. Then again, if he's actually looking to full clear it, I have been told that doing the full left side first isn't a bad play.
Yeah, I don't know that it matters too much which side you do first if you're gonna full clear it. So, and right now he kind of has a full clear with still having a loose out there.
Yeah, I'm still banking on that loot being third chest in Mermaids though. If the loot isn't over there, something like Masa's gotta be.
Darren, Drees, and Caleb pointing out to us that the reason you go crack inside first is, 1, you find the third ribbon and leave it behind, and 2 is because if you find your loose incentive item on that side, then you don't have to go to Mermaids.
So, rumor has it that there was a boss at the bottom of the volcano.
I haven't seen it yet this seed. You cannot prove that.
Yeah, it's just a rumor. These sea snakes not proven to be too dangerous, just trying to put people to sleep.
Sounds like we got some Team Poison sound effects over on Life Reboot's side. Oh, and there they go. Yeah, Rojo Vision in chat. Grendy did, in fact, leave that ribbon behind. Grendy has committed to doing a 2-man party at this point. so they really didn't feel the need to pick it up.
Granted, I would find it extremely hilarious to imagine a fighter with pigtails.
But fighters can want to be pretty too.
Either way, these rather annoying mummies are just gonna get left in the dust.
We've got some scorching wraiths.
Saurias, we saw those earlier, right?
We saw them, and they were casting fire too. Apparently, they've got squint as well.
That's slightly scurry.
Yeah, and if you're gonna take this fight, I would probably cast something other than just petting them gently with the Black Mage.
Well, I mean, you know, it's basically a petting suit. You know, I don't think I realized that the lobsters were unrunnable.
Woof. You don't like to see that, especially when they got stun touch.
Now, was it the lobsters that had stun touch, or was it the sea trolls that were with them that had it?
I believe it. Well, there's the Aegis. Gonna love to see that if you're Grendy. But I believe it was the lobsters. Oh no, Lemon Kitsune is telling us that it was the sea troll.
So, I mean, you still don't really especially like to see lobsters, but they're less bad.
And our elemental exchange program continues as we have Earths in the water cave.
And there is the legendary unrunnable Wisahag Arsahag tile. Because these are still tied in with the pirates. This, I believe, how that works is this is the B-side encounter for pirates, so they're still linked in. But in a future patch, hopefully they will be delinked and you will be able to flee from that.
Yeah, I believe that already exists in the beta flags for the randomizer.
And then everyone will rejoice because nobody likes that tile.
It's not worth the experience that you have to put through the headache of dealing with it.
So here's the thing about those unrunnable lobsters. I don't super especially mind fighting lobsters. For if they don't have anything in their kit, they're kind of okay for a quick bit of experience if you can take them down fast.
And we have been taking them down fast with the Thor Hammer on the fighter and just casting Lit 3 on the Black Mage.
Hey, you can't hardly argue with Lit 3 since it was a level 1 spell. Probably has plenty of charges. I have no idea how many charges.
Oh no, that's it. He's out.
Oh, well, I'll just stop talking then.
Yeah, I just happened to catch that was his last charge of Lit 3 in that last lobster fight. Oh no.
And now all of a sudden we really want some damage for this particular pack of lobsters.
Luckily, Ice 3 still hits pretty hard even if it isn't hitting them like for super effective damage.
I've heard it said that of the 3 elemental spells, ice generally tends to be the best.
I've heard the same, that it generally hits the hardest of all 3. Oh,
So Grindy's about to pull Kraken. That's going to be an interesting fight.
And Life Reboot is grinding on these mages and fighters, and the spike tile in Ice Cave.
And Kraken is pulled. Grindy just swinging with that fighter, putting out a nuke for 324 damage, and Kraken does what Kraken does and one-shots the Black Mage. Fire 2 doing a little bit of chip damage. The defense swords are going up.
Kraken's
oh no!
casting all kinds of magic today.
Kraken has Sleep 2, which went right through that ribbon.
Oh, now we got some power bonk after we've gotten up the defense sword.
I think maybe at this point, Grindy might be showing just a little bit too much respect to Kraken. I stand corrected. That, like, Kraken, everything Kraken throws out is going straight through the ribbon.
Also, 426 damage on top of the 324 from Nuke earlier. Like, Kraken seems to be tanky. That's an awful lot of hit points to chew through.
And Kraken goes down. That is one plate of calamari for everyone.
Yep. And Grendy successfully makes it out, does the smart thing of throwing down a tent before taking a single step.
Somehow, Kraken spells just said, screw your ribbon, I am going to put you to sleep, I am going to stun you, and you're going to like it.
Yeah, Kraken, like, was just... considering how hard Kraken was hitting, it was lucky that it had so many spells and so many skills that it was running through. Also, Caleb is saying that Sleep 2 is likely non-elemental, which would be why it immediately went through the ribbon.
Yeah, well, that would do it. Still doesn't really explain how the fighter got stunned, though. I think the Kraken cast Hold. So is that also non-elemental?
It might be. Nope, 3 out of 256, so they got a crit on Hold.
Banesword gonna get left behind. I mean, he's got Bane on the Black Mage, so, you know, not a bad thing, I guess. Man, Life Reboot is just going to town on that Mage Fighter tile, isn't he?
Yeah, it looks like this is going to be grinding up so that this is just going to be Life Reboot's grind. But, I mean, this is a pretty good grind tile if they aren't hitting for anything. But getting up into your mid-20s on this, I don't hate it at all. I'm quite a fan of it, actually.
Where would you normally find these particular things?
I think Sky, but I could be wrong.
They bear a striking resemblance to someone pretending to be a king, don't they?
Maybe a smidge. Apparently this is a Topher encounter.
Yeah, that would do it.
Caleb also pointing out that with the door tile just below it, this does become a completely safe grind tile where you're not going to accidentally run into something other than these.
Oh, Grendy finding his old friends, the unrunnable ghosts.
Yeah, well, he's a little better prepared to deal with them now than he was back at Astos' castle.
Oh, there is a Moss Moon for Grindy right behind the ghosts. I don't think that was a spike tile, was it?
No, I'm not I don't think so.
Nah, there's more ghosts. So, yeah, just a very haunted room that happens to have a really powerful sword.
Haunted sword. Caleb confirming for us that that was not in fact a spike tile, it was just a very haunted room.
So hey, that's one thing that would put me in a state of, yeah, let's go. I don't consider myself in go mode until I have that Moss Moon.
I mean, at this point, it's hard to say let's go about anything until we find that last loose item, which we happen to know is the loot.
And we know Grindy's not going to be saying let's go until he goes back and talk to Bicky. And that third chest has a silver shield, so looks like I was wrong. Darn it. Would have been amazing if I was right, though, wouldn't it?
That would have been fantastic. I might have had to call you out as a witch.
Hey, don't do that. They'll burn me at the Tyro. Haha! Fun percent humor. Let's see here. That is a Pro Cape. That's a shield slots item that's really good for casters, if I'm not grossly mistaken, right?
You would be correct, and Grendy did make space for that in his Black Mage's inventory and has not equipped it yet.
Yeah, this one's a little bit of a head scratcher. Where could that loot be? Oh wait, it could be in Sky.
It could be in Earth, which is where I've decided it is.
You can't just decide that. Who do you think you are, me?
Hey, you may have rolled this seed, but that doesn't mean that I'm not calling the shots in the background. Caleb calling it in Vanilla Adamant Box.
That would be a pretty spicy place for it to be. Burt Reynolds, yes, these are the Chaos flags for Week 6. Time has certainly flown.
LCB, we already saw Keylocked Marsh. It was 360-something gold.
So the only places we haven't checked for this loot are the lower areas of the Earth Cave, any place in Sky, and I think there may possibly be one or two chests in Volcano that nobody ever goes to, but I don't know that they're even randomized. I checked them once and they just had a couple copper gauntlets.
Yeah, no, all the chests that actually exist in Fire Cave were checked by one or the other. Life Reboot going to Earth, so we'll get to see whether loot is down here or not.
Now you're sure about that? Because I know that there are in the bottomless floor of Volcano, there are two other chests on the right side. Nobody ever goes over there.
Yeah, I believe there's a reason for that. I don't think those chests are even real. They're like linked to other chests.
I don't think they're actually randomized. Like I said, I went down there and they just had some copper gauntlets.
Darren Drees and Classic Gamer are telling us that those are linked chests to the ones in the Agama room.
Huh, maybe they're just really bad at checking chests. Then again, I run a sum total of like 3.5 seeds, so, I mean, what the heck do I know, right?
Yeah, it's amazing how much more you start learning when you start running versus just watching.
I mean, when I do this, I have to have a world map somewhere convenient, otherwise I waste a good hour just staring at the map. Nobody should ever play the FFR drinking game for checking maps because when I'm running, because you will die of alcohol poisoning.
Oh, I've been there. The world map is something that everyone can stand to get better at.
Limited Kitsune, yeah, possibly. Grindy did not talk to Bicky, may have marked himself as talking to him without ever having done it. So with any luck at all, he will eventually go back to Provoca and start provoking Bicky. In other news, that Pro Cape has still not been equipped. Don't know if there's a super special awesome reason. There it goes. Okay, so
that's one thing remembered. Now we just need to remember the other, which is go talk to Bicky.
Right now, I think Grindy is in really good shape equipment-wise. He doesn't really need... Excuse me. He doesn't really need the dragon armor. He doesn't need any more weapons. And if he does find, like, Excal or Vorpal Sword, You could toss that Moss Moon down to the Black Wizard.
Yeah, all Grendy needs is that loose loot, and to remember Bicky.
The Dragon Armor would be nice, but the fighter's got a ribbon, so I don't know if elemental resistances really stack.
Bicky gives the herb, which led to the chime, Serenus.
Life Reboot saying hi to Count Chocula. And saying bye to Count Chocula.
Right,
he was here for a limited time only. Hey, Spectres with Heat. That's fun.
Unrunnable Spectres with Heat. Luckily, the Light Axe makes short work of them.
Where's Booberry? Booberry was off in Sea Shrine. We saw all those ghosts there, remember?
Also, taking a vacation to the Northwest Castle on one of the spike tiles.
Frankenberry, that's a good question. Who would be Frankenberry? Iron Gulls?
Yeah, that's good. Who do you think is Fruit Brute? Is that going to be the werewolves?
Sure, why not? Let's go with that.
Or am I just showing my age by bringing up Fruit Brute?
You may have just dated yourself pretty hard there. And now I have everybody in chat talking about cereal.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh, crud. You know, since Life Reboot killed Count Chocula, that makes him a serial killer.
Ah, no.
Low-hanging fruit, but I couldn't resist.
Definitely 3 out of 256 me threw my ribbon on that one.
Oh god, what have I done?
Opal Cheerio came from the Adamant Classic Gamer.
Yeah, so that adamant not super important, even though it's right there in Earth Cave, and Grindy did just pick it up. Matter of fact, I think he just turned it in. But for Grindy doing two-man strats, it's completely worthless since the Black Mage has the black shirt, and I would value its resistances over a little bit more Absorb any day.
But do the resistances stack if you've already got a ribbon on?
I value the black shirt's ability to cast Ice 2 over a Opal Cheerio any day.
Fair enough.
Let me just backpedal on that one. So hey, you know, we were talking about rumors about bosses. Rumor has it there's a boss in the bottom of Earth Cave too.
I don't believe you. That sounds fake.
Yeah, seems pretty real right now because Lich actually survived a round.
That's not something you ever see. Didn't get too far into the second though.
I mean I'm pretty sure that puts Lich a slight step above Carry.
True, Carrie melted this seed. I'm wondering if Life Reboot left something, a chest or two behind in here, considering he's running right back into Earth after lighting it.
That is very possible. He's probably just really hoping that's not the case, but like the only place left he has is Sky. Oh no, wait, I'm wrong, because he could very easily go back down into Marsh Cave.
That's true, Life Reboot has not been to the bottom of Marsh. We know it's worthless, but Life Reboot doesn't.
Oh man, that could be a gigantic time sink that would give Grindy plenty of time to realize he has to go talk to Becky. So we are currently tied up at 2 orbs each, but Life Reboot has cleared the easier of the dungeons, and we know that Kraken is absolutely packing a punch.
And Life Reboot's going to Marsh as opposed to going to one of the other 2 dungeons.
Oh no! I said it, and it happened! Why did I do that? I gotta stop saying things! So, who wants another bowl of Count Chocula?
Oh gosh, Caleb just cut that bowl of cereal to ribbons.
I'm sorry, who did?
Grendy, not Caleb.
Caleb, did you tag out with Grindy all of a sudden? What the heck, man?
Apologies, I shouldn't try and talk when I've got cat aggro.
Oh no, that's second only to girlfriend aggro.
It's cool, the fiance knew I was doing this ahead of time.
Oh good. Always good to have some CC ready. And then suddenly we started playing a completely different game.
Gloomchew, what Chaos means is that we don't actually have instead of having one of the Fiend dungeons incentivized, we just have a third loose item.
And right now, that third loose item, the loot, is giving our runners no end of trouble. Life Reboot checking out a very much empty place. Grindy working his way through Earth Cave, which is not the worst move in history, but Grindy also doesn't know how the heck to get into Sky. So, I mean, it all kind of balances out in the end.
Yeah, one of our runners has already full cleared Marsh, so we know that the loot is not there.
So, I got a question for you. And it's a complete joke question, but it's still a question. What do you call an excessively wide, valuable stringed instrument?
I don't know.
Fat loot.
Alright, yeah, no, I should have seen that one coming.
I mean, I guess you could call it a piano, really, but I don't know, I like my joke better. It looks like I inflicted stun status on Steel Golem in chat.
So at this point, it looks like Grendy's about to have finished clearing Earth Cave, which is going to put him at... yeah, his Lich didn't even survive the first round. He's going to put him at 3 orbs lit, and since he's been full clearing everything, he's got pretty much nothing left to do but figure out he needs to talk to Bicky.
That is literally the only thing that he's got left, because Bicky has the herb leads to Chime, and loot has to be somewhere in Mirage or Sky. Oh no. Oh no. I believe that it's entirely possible that there's at least one chest in Topher that could potentially have a loot.
Oh, that would be absolutely brutal if it were like in the validation chest or something. Oh no, the Masamune chest. Oh, no, Caleb is saying that it's not possible for the loot to be in Topher.
Okay, alright. We do know the red D chest does not have anything but money, but Grindy doesn't know that, so making that prophesized second volcano dive.
This will be literally his last possible check before Bicky.
Oh, God, how hard is he going to be kicking himself when we tell him, hey, yeah, you forgot to talk to Vicky about hour and a half ago.
Well, maybe we won't have to tell him. Maybe he'll figure it out. Yeah, I have to agree with Darren Drees in chat. I do think at this point Grendy is got a pretty significant lead as long as he can remember that he needs to go talk to Bicky.
Absolutely. Lifereboot found his Moss Moon, so at least there's that over there. Gonna be going and meeting the Calamari Master.
The Space Drake, at this point, we have full cleared everything between the two runners except for Mirage Tower and Sky, so it's got to be there somewhere.
So Crab Cakes, Chime is being held by the Elf King, or the Elf Prince, and the Herb is being held by Bicky, which Grindy forgot to check. Grindy absolutely confused. Going all that way for absolutely nothing. I mean, it's great entertainment for us, but like this is actually starting to get a little bit painful.
Yeah, it's tough to watch.
Are there any chests anywhere that Grindy has not checked? Is there any other check he could possibly make?
I really think that was the only one he skipped. I really think that's it, and it's just gonna have to be rechecking his incentive locations.
He's got to be looking at his tracker and going, okay, what did I mark that I shouldn't have? He knows he got the bottle. He got the tail from the bottle. He knows that he translated the slab, and he knows that he got what came from Lupa Lupa Land. I totally forgot.
Just a moment.
It was a crown, sorry.
Crown, yep.
So he's kind of hovering around, wondering, okay, what the hell? He couldn't possibly be thinking, okay, this is a broken seed. This is just nowhere.
I mean, he could.
Yeah, that'd be a terrible way to end Grindy's run in the tournament, to think it was broken and end up forfeiting or something.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with some of the things we're seeing in chat, where at this point, rather than, scratching your head, just go run back through your quick checks and see if you can happen across it.
At the same time, Grindy has made some kind of weird life choices on this one. The danning of both the White Mage and the Thief. The Thief I understand, but the White Mage was kind of a weird play, because the Knight can't get any life spells.
Yeah, but, as was pointed out to us earlier, Grendy has liked the two-man fighter Black Mage party, so I'm not too surprised to see that, but yeah,
And he's on the move again, so at least he might have something. Maybe he realized what he's forgotten. Gonna go check Gaia. Maybe he thinks he forgot to grab something from the ferry. But, I mean, this isn't a wrong move. It's a step in the right direction, rechecking things like this.
Absolutely.
Maybe seeing that pirate over there in that nice, what looked like a Hawaiian shirt might jog his memory. The text box confirming what we knew, nothing here.
Yep. And he's flying again, so he's got another idea as to where to go. Or not.
If he went and redid Ordeals, I would have been a very sad panda.
Yeah, that would really hurt to watch at this point.
Looks like he might be heading back down to the inner sea. Yes, that's the right track. All right, Grindy. He's heading towards Provoca.
No, he's
I think.
not. He
was
to the volcano again.
So welcome to Volcano, Part 3. Well, at least we're on the right continent this time.
The good news is that the VOD for this is going to be an excellent learning tool for any number of runners.
Yeah, always make sure that you actually have done your check before you mark it off in your tracker. Heal stick out of that chest. I mean, I guess if you have to come back down here, that's not the worst thing you could pull out of a box.
Life reboot, harming and nuking down some of those unrunnable ghosts down in the sea caves. And even more unrunnable ghosts down in the sea caves.
Well, we already knew sea caves were haunted, so this doesn't come as any kind of surprise to me.
Yep, we got that same double ghost encounter that Grendy got earlier, right around the time he found Masa.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't actually wait to see the endgame stats screen for Grindy. I want to see exactly how many chests he ends up checking.
Well, if he goes and finds... yeah, that's going to depend. Maybe the last chest in Sky has the loose loot, and then he'll have opened every chest except for the ones in Topher.
Did Grindy, like, nope on out after seeing there was nothing in the volcano armory first time?
Might have. I think he might have gotten his face pushed in by some angry monsters.
Yeah, that's the PG way of saying that. I'll have to write that one down.
When I can't think of something to substitute for a curse word, I use face.
I usually go with silverware.
That's a good one, too.
You know, I like to be nice about things. He was so close because he's hovering over Elfland. he's got to know he hasn't checked the Elf Prince.
Come on, just land at these places and start talking to people.
Go talk to Vicky, man. Oh no, that's the completely wrong. That's the completely wrong landmass. The horrible thing is, if he's been keeping track, if he's actually been keeping any kind of accurate track, he knows he's picked up 2 loose items. So he has to know there's only 1 more loose. Now, granted, it could be entirely that he thinks the chime is loose, and that like the herb is going to lead to the loot from somewhere he hasn't figured it out.
Looks like Life Reboot is taking a secondary grind on this Soria tile.
I don't necessarily disagree with that. I can't help but wonder if maybe, like, at this point, Grindy's got to be feeling a little bit of panic that, okay, now he's absolutely behind, checking with Charizards. I thought he already did these, but I could be wrong.
I believe he did and noped out because there wasn't anything of value.
Now, granted, I had a seed where this kind of thing happened to me. It turns out I totally forgot to talk to the sages and get my floater from them, which turned out to be required. So, I mean, I know what Grindy's feeling right now.
Yeah, we've definitely all had that seed where we forget to talk to someone. It's just, with Bicky, it's so rough because, like, it does the opposite thing of Astos. When you talk to Astos, you see what item you're getting, and then you do the encounter. With the Pirates, it's the opposite. You do the encounter, then gotta talk again after to get the item.
Grindy going in and checking the caves that do not have anything, thinking maybe there's a chest that nobody ever checks in one of them, maybe. Gonna be sorely disappointed in all of them, though. And it looks like Life Reboot is well and truly on his way to a big heap and helping a Calamari.
Yeah, and once Life Reboot takes out Kraken, Life Reboot will be firmly in control at this point.
You know, this phrase gets thrown out so much, but you really do hate to see it, because Grindy had a pretty decent lead for a while there, but forgetting to talk to Bicky has cost him pretty much everything.
Yeah, he probably had a solid 10-minute lead if he remembered to talk to Bicky.
So Life Reboot gonna find out that if Kraken actually punches, it's gonna hurt as it usually does.
True, but we got fast up on that fighter, so I don't expect Kraken to stay very long.
Oh no, Grindy gonna go back to Marsh thinking maybe he missed something in there.
That's right, I forgot how tanky this Kraken was.
Oh yeah, this Kraken can take a hit or two.
Well, not only is it taking, like, very little damage, it also had a lot of health, but it goes down.
It had a lot of health. And then it didn't.
Caleb, I don't think he started spinning after killing Lich. I would say that it was really more after he double dipped the volcano for the chest that he skipped there is when he started spinning. But still, it's a good somewhere between 10 to 15 minute lead that it's just gone away, and he's now officially behind as Life Reboot makes his way over to Mirage.
This looks to be a pretty tanky T-Rex that Life Reboot's found.
Yeah, it survived a Quad X, but it's worth taking down because those guys are worth a ton of XP. Gloomshoe, I've personally never missed the Pirates, but I have missed the Elf Prince.
Yeah, I've never missed the Pirates either, but my big small brain moment was missing the Sages. That's not even something you need a prerequisite for. It's just something you miss. Excalibur coming out of Mirage Cave, so or not Mirage Cave, but Mirage Tower. That's yeah, everything's a cave. Who am I kidding?
All caves, all the time.
Yeah, see that building over there? That's a cave. See that airship? That's a cave. See the bottom of the ocean? That's a cave.
See the palace in the sky? Cave.
Oh, that temple with all the fiends? That's a cave. See that cave? That's not a cave. That's a cave.
That's the Titan's Tunnel, actually.
Yeah, tunnels are definitely not caves. And if we had entrance randomizer on, that town might actually be a cave.
Good point.
Will Bloodworth mentioning every town is a cave except Melman, which is a hole. Yeah, I'll buy that.
Hey, there's that dragon armor. Say goodbye to the opal.
Grindy confirming that there's definitely nothing on the throne that Astos was occupying.
So, next question. You've got the dragon, you've got the Aegis. Do you move your third ribbon over to your ninja?
Do I do that? Heck yeah. But
So
I'm probably wrong if I don't have wall. I'm pretty sure there is at least one thing that the combination of Dragon and Aegis does not cover.
Yeah, I think Dragon and Aegis covers like 6 out of the 8 different elements. Okay, 5 out of the 8 then. Doesn't cover time, earth, or status. Thank you, Space Drake.
Oh, there you go. So, yeah, if I don't have wall, then, yeah, I do it. I'm just wrong for doing it. Now, that's an interesting move for Life Reboot to do. Putting on the X-Cal and throwing the Masa down to the Ninja. Last time I checked, I always want a Katana to be in that ninja's hands.
Yeah, the crit rate on the katana is so high that the damage that it throws out is generally going to be high enough. And with the low crit rate on the X-Cal, yeah, I think I'd rather have the Masa on the fighter and the katana on the ninja.
I mean, if you really want to equip the fighter with the X-Cal, you could even throw the Masa down to the White Wizard or Black Wizard and give them something to do after they're done casting their spells.
I definitely threw the Masa onto mages when I was a kid playing this game.
I mean, just recently I had a seed where I ran Black Belt and Red Mage. I threw the Masa onto the Red Mage, and then I was suddenly sad that it was out damaging my Black Belt. Yes, yes, Grindy, this is where you need to be! No, don't go back, go back!
Oh hey, a white shirt on Life Reboot's side.
Oh, Grindy, why, man? Why? You were in the right spot!
Is he gonna check the bottle for a third time?
I think he probably is. No, he's checking the magic. That's just as good, I guess. Just as effective.
Hey, there's that
Hey.
warp spell.
Hey, yeah, level 8 warp. That's massively not useful.
What are you talking about? It got him out of Gaia so fast. And
Hey!
our loot has finally made itself known. We have finally attained Go mode an hour and 54 minutes and 43 seconds into this seed.
I don't think these people are gonna let me roll seeds anymore.
That's not your fault, that's Chaos Flags.
God, Grindy, you were right there. You were on the right track. You were staring at it. You had it in your hand.
And Life Reboot is now go-moding Sky, as they should, considering that they've got basically every piece of gear you could possibly want.
So, hey, speaking of Sky, since we are a single teleporter tile away from it, we are about to be on the Bridge of Destiny. Get those Bless RNGs in chat. Let's hope for a robot chicken friend.
I'd love to see a war mech at this point. This seed's given us everything else.
Except an herb.
It gave us one herb, it just hasn't given us the second.
Part of me wants to see one of these huge packs just suddenly whip out Nuke.
Oh gosh, that would be great right at this point in the seed. Life Reboot confusing me by going up, left, left, up.
As long as you go 2 horizontal and 2 vertical, it doesn't matter, I don't think.
No, you're correct, but it still, like, just breaks my brain to see someone do an off pattern like that.
Looks like Life Reboot getting through the Bridge of Destiny, just seeing 2 blowhard encounters, and pulling Tia, just regular Tia, who's probably just going to be a doormat. Yeah, didn't even hit that Black Mage very hard, and
Wow!
sneezed and died.
Holy cow, the ninja just wrecked that thing.
The ninja did have fast cast on it, so at least there's that. Speaking of having magic, has Life Reboot actually gone back to get magic on the ninja and knight?
I don't believe so, but Life Reboot has finally lit their 4th orb, which means that unless they're planning to get that magic, Life Reboot's ready to go to Temple of Fiends Revisited.
You know, if it's me, I definitely at least go visit Provoca and get the fast and temper on the ninja.
I absolutely agree with that. You can never have too many fast and temper casters.
Brief encounter with Frosty the Snoke Drake.
Grundy's going back into the ocean.
Oh, Grindy.
Darendry's believing that Reboot went and got magic right after promotion, but that was nearly an hour ago, so who knows, time isn't real anymore.
What is time? What is this seed? What is this game?
Honestly, this seed wasn't so bad. Like, it gave them the chime and the cube right away to kind of push them towards Sky, and they didn't go until last.
Yeah, I mean, to be completely fair, the seed itself was not especially cruel. It's just they've ignored the signals and pirates. Especially the pirates.
Especially the pirates.
You can't just ignore a pirate, really.
Will Bloodworth is on a roll tonight. Grendy finished 2,000 years ago, but forgot to dot done.
2,000 years later, he's still searching for the herb. I do know that there is one chest in the Sea Shrine that has a awful reputation. They call it TFC, that funny chest.
That fake chest, it doesn't exist.
I mean, it's got to exist. It has a name. Anything with a name exists. But I wonder if Grindy's actually been there. I mean, he's been everywhere else, right?
Clearly, as he's re-clearing mermaids right now.
I mean, if you have to retire, there are worse places to do it than surrounded by mermaids.
Very true.
And Life Reboot has pulled Lich 2. Or maybe it's going to be Speed Bump 2, or 3 at this point. Life Reboot just kind of steamrolled Carry and the first Lich.
Showing some actual respect to Lich 2 by casting fast on the ninja.
To be the stunned ninja. But to be completely fair, the first Lich did put up more of a fight than Carry, so, you know, maybe that does warrant just a little bit more respect. Or not.
Maybe not. Oh no, the mermaid was talking about the chime to poor Grendy.
Feels bad, man. And here's Carry 2. Let's see how much respect Life Reboot shows Carry 2. Because, historically, from what I've seen, Carry 2 really just absolutely likes to throw out tornadoes.
Oh, goodness, that's a lot of damage.
That's a terrible, terrible damage, but at least Carry didn't do what Carry normally... Well, there's Carry doing
Carry's
what
got no
normally
health,
does.
though. Glass cannon, learning from all those birds we ran into earlier.
Yeah, Carry 2 doing what Carry 2 does, and that is die in very short order. The other thing Carry 2 usually does is just snipe a white wizard no matter where they sit in the party, but thankfully that didn't happen this time.
Just damage, just so much damage.
Yeah, for some reason she really doesn't like white wizards. I don't know why.
It's awfully rude.
It's like Carry's the only boss that has the intelligence to go after the ones in the dress.
Oh, that's not true. Kraken does too.
Kraken has enough tentacles to not care. He'll hit everybody. The ninja, obviously showing himself as the one without a ribbon. Actually, Life Reboot got all 3 of his ribbons, right?
Correct, but the third ribbon is still on the fighter.
Well, that's not where you put it. We're back to the fighters with pigtails. Somebody get to work on that sprite. I want it. If somebody makes a fighter with pigtail sprite, I will replace every icon I have. Twitch, Discord, everything. Everything will be fighter with pigtails.
The fabulous fighter. I love it. Randy finding that third ribbon for the second time.
By now, maybe that's its 4th ribbon. Hey, I'll take a knight with big tails too. Or you grab a the Final Fantasy III Paladin, I think it is. The basically fighter with a crown. Put pigtails on that. I'll take it. Either way, there's a bounty out on that. So, Kraken 2. Getting usual respect at Kraken 2.
Yeah, we got some invis, we got some defense, we got a white shirt.
And we had a lit 2 from Kraken, so nothing super scary yet.
That awful yet.
And there's the attack. Didn't seem like it did a whole lot of damage, but I didn't see what Kraken attacked.
Doesn't matter. Got deleted.
Yeah, looks like Kraken's lacking today. Just was not packing that whacking.
Yeah, well, I mean, we did get off like 3 stacks of invis before it got its first swing off, so...
Yeah, it was that 1400 swing out of the ninja that got my attention.
Yeah, not a very absorby Kraken.
Now, you know, I didn't think ninjas got guard and counter until tactics. Well, that's a statue. Iron goals.
It's a fast statue, but still a statue. Yeah, unrunnable iron goal.
Hey, everyone, look! It's Frankenberry. We finally found him.
Oh, cool! Damage poison to go with all that stun and stone.
Here is one of the real bosses of Topher, the Iron Goal.
Playing a little game of Trance Revolution. Oh, and it finally goes down.
Iron Goal, better boss than the previous 3 fiends combined.
Yeah, that was a brutal Iron Goal.
So, Tia 2. Wow. What do we expect to see from Tia 2, I wonder?
Nuclear.
Yeah, you know, that wouldn't surprise me. I know Swirl is still on the board too, so, I mean, it could be practically anything as Tia 2 just chunks down half that ninja's HP in one shot.
Oh, well, I'm glad we got Cure 4 out before the damage.
At least there's that, yeah, that could have gone all the way bad.
10 hits only doing 200 damage. This is a pretty... Oh, there's that nuke I asked for.
Ask, and thou shalt receive. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Almost wiping out 3/4 of the party, but the black wizard just hanging on, the white wizard hanging on just a little bit better, but not much. Nuke for 176 out of the black wizard. Cure 4 bringing that white wizard up full. And the black mage goes down, or black wizard goes down to lit 2. That is a very sad way to go.
Yep, so we're down to 2. Oh, we got Bane. Thankfully, it doesn't get through the ribbons. Hit and fade, and the white mage takes down Tiamat.
At least that white wizard has life 2. That could have gone so much worse.
Absolutely, and so it's like nothing ever happened, and unless we get another nasty Iron Goal, we should be clear to Chaos.
I was gonna say, if that next encounter had been an Iron Goal, the commentator's curse would be most real. I think Chaos can have both Swirl and Nuclear. I mean, if Chaos really wanted to, he could totally have Tornado, Nuclear, Swirl, just all the bad things.
Could have multiple nuclears, couldn't it? Aren't there 2 nuclears in the pool?
I think that there's more than 2. There's 4 nuclears and 3 nukes.
Alright, cool. Then it could just go ham if it wanted to.
Yeah, but all those awful things are divided amongst the 4 fiends, Chaos, and Warmech, who we never saw. So, Chaos obviously getting quite a fair amount of respect, as he is due. Getting some white shirts thrown up there, tempers, fasts, power bonks, nuclear.
There's that nuclear I called for.
Black Wizard answering with a nuke in turn. For those of you who would like a little bit of trivia, the spell nuke is actually a replacement for the later spell flare.
Oh, nuclear into nuke. I love it. Oh, this is getting dangerous.
Throwing out that Cure 4 on the fighter, good move. Thankfully, turn order allowed for that.
Yep, let's see how much damage we got. Oh, and Chaos has been terminated. Life Reboot has won at 2 hours, 9 minutes.
Official SRL time is 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 40 seconds, and in short order thereafter, Grindy has indeed forfeited. GG to everybody involved. Holy crap, what the heck happened with this seed? Let's see if we can't get these guys in here for a quick interview. I know we all want to talk to Grindy about this one. We are joined in the booth by both Life Reboot and Grindy. GG, guys.
Gee, thank you.
So before we go too far here, I do have to put Grindy out of his misery. Grindy, you forgot to talk to Bicky.
What?
Yeah, Bicky had the herb
Seriously?
which led to the chime.
Son of a bitch.
I do have to put Grindy out of his misery. Grindy, you forgot to talk to Bicky. Yeah, Grindy has the Bicky has the herb. Herb turns into chime, and Loot was hanging out in the
Somewhere.
it's somewhere in the sky, but in one of the northwest rooms.
So how about that scary Chaos there, Life Reboot?
Yeah, he was pretty beefy. I feel like I played it correctly going in with all the defense items, and came out with a double nuclear to take out my black mage before I could lock 2. But my white mage, thanks to the draft that Grindy decided to have a white mage along, we could cure 4 and recover from those nukes. But yeah, he was pretty threatening.
We had a white mage?
Life Reboot had a white mage. You had a statue.
But yeah, the white mage ended up being pretty clutch, having a little extra fade to throw around, having life 2 at level 4.
Yeah, after level 3, the white magic actually got to be kind of important. So, did you find yourself getting caught up anywhere, Life Reboot?
I definitely last location the loose boot. I think we all agree that that's the worst item to be loose, since it can literally be anywhere. And I don't know, I don't really know Grindy, my opponent, very well, so I wasn't sure of Grindy's skill level, so I was doing Never Earth and Never Marsh first, just hoping for decent luck that it ran out, and then it ended up being in Sky, of course. So yeah, I don't know, the biggest mistake obviously was needing to redive Volcano when I took that grind in front of the flame armor chest. So the red D, I think. And that was embarrassing, but up until then I hadn't found a decent grind tile, so I wanted to take it a few times.
Yeah, speaking of grind tiles, it seemed like one of them kind of bit you in the butt, the zombies and whiz vamps.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It was definitely a misstep, but like I said, I wanted to take that fight, and it felt like a embarrassing mistake. I felt my ears go red when I died and needed to redive Volcano.
Well,
you don't have to worry about that. We don't use face cams here.
Yeah, and it ended up working out in the end as you took this and moved to 2 and 4. Congratulations.
Thank you. GG, Grendy.
GG.
Grendy, we see that you are going through. Do you actually plan on going ahead and finishing the seed?
Oh, I'm finishing this now. I'm invested.
That is dedication right there. And I certainly do applaud you for it, sir. So while you're doing that, Grindy, you did seem to go down to the fighter black mage strats pretty early. Aside from that one forgetful moment that you had, did that work out for you pretty well?
I forgot something? I mean, it worked out well enough. I didn't see anything in the first 3 levels of white that I wanted, so... And then it got stoned, and that was just perfect.
Was there ever a thought of keeping the ninja alive?
For a little bit, and then it wasn't doing anything, and the fighter and black mage were, so he died.
That is absolutely fair enough. Since you are planning on closing out this seed, I'll try not to spoil any of the fiend fights for you. I think everybody, at least myself, I'm pretty sure everybody in chat really wants to see you fight a war mech, though, because we didn't get to see that on the Life Reboot side.
And if it shows up, I'm gonna kill it.
Love to hear that.
Yeah, not such a big fan of the word "if" in there, but you know we do appreciate the fact that you will stay and kill it if it does show up.
I can't believe I forgot to talk to the pirate.
I'm pretty sure everyone in chat was empathizing. Everyone was saying it happens to everyone at least once. Like I had an embarrassing moment on a run that I was doing where I forgot to talk to the sages, and it basically cost me at least an hour. So I mean, it happens to everybody at some point.
I felt really good on my run too until I got nothing more out of Earth, and then there was nothing in Volcano, and then nothing anywhere else.
Yeah, actually, you lit your 3rd orb a full 15 minutes before Life Reboot did.
I felt confident. I figured it had to be in Earth, so I just kept opening everything, and then there was nothing. And I really thought I talked to Vicky, but oops.
So, Grendy, Life Reboot, are either of you planning to take part in the Duck Derby?
I had participated in the last Duck Derby, and I don't remember if I did well or not, but I'm still relatively new to the community. 5 months ago, I think I joined. When they were talking about the Duck Derby was coming up in the Speedruns Live room before the race began, that was news to me, so that's exciting. That's more my pace, my skill level as a relatively new racer. So I will look forward to participating. I would like to do that.
Oh, we certainly look forward to seeing you there.
I'm going to try and get in on it. It'll depend on the times and if I'm back at work or not. I'm going to be doing the Iron Goal stuff, though, because I want to see what kind of silly seeds people roll.
Yeah, speaking of the seeds, I'm sitting here worried nobody's ever going to let me roll a seed again after this one.
The seed seemed fine if I would have talked to a pirate.
Yeah, like I said earlier, the seed didn't wasn't too trolly. There was a little bit of spice on it. And it even felt like it was, pushing to Sky with the early Chime and early Cube.
I mean, from the position of some of us, Sky is never a bad play. Just at least dipping your beak in there to see what comes up. It's about on the same level as Volcano for me personally. I don't know about you guys.
I would have loved to be in here like 30 minutes ago.
I think that might be the first Germadusa encounter I've seen.
Yeah, we didn't run into any on Life Reboot's side.
I feel like the seed wasn't particularly bad. The worst was just the Sahags that had the ability to turn you to stone, but beyond that, there were no real frustrating mobs, I felt.
Yeah, and luckily you were able to get into the Sky quick enough that those Sahags weren't a huge factor.
True.
If Floater had been in ordeals, that could have been...
That floater was really nice being there.
Yeah, it was really conveniently placed right with the vanilla canoe.
That does seem to be a trademark of my seeds. The floater and canoe like to just be next to each other. Everybody who rolls a seed has a certain thing that they expect.
The only thing I would have liked from this seed is Warp to not be level 8.
That's kind of a painful thing, having Warp that high. Having Warp any higher than 5 kind of sucks in general.
Right.
Anyone still with us can throw some blessed RNGs in chat right about now, since Grindy is on the Bridge of Destiny now. Looks like you might just be getting away with it. Oh, are you actually going to hunt for it for us?
I'm gonna try.
We applaud you for that. I think we all really want to know what Warmech's packing. Real man of the people right here, everybody.
He really doesn't want to show up, though.
Does he ever?
Yeah, Warmech is feeling real shy today.
That's a beefy nacho.
Ooh, yeah, 600 damage and it didn't go down.
There we are.
That is a 5-layer Nacho Supreme right there. There's our Warmech. Okay, let's see what kind of terrible things Warmech can do.
It can get fasted Knight, smacking it right in the face.
Wow, that was a crit that hit for like 350 some odd.
And Warmech's only hitting back for 57 damage. Yeah, this Warmech's going down hard.
And then Warmech turns around and drops nuclears on us or something. Or maybe not. Maybe just becomes scrap metal. That was a That was a pretty dang good nuke roll from that Black Wizard, though. Okay, so now we all know Warmech was actually secretly just a loot pinata.
True, but it's always nice when that loot pinata happens and you benefit from it.
Now, see, the R Hydras are my bane. Hydras in general just do not do me any favors.
I always have trouble with catmen or man-cats.
Yeah, they. I have more trouble with the Sabertees, to be perfectly real with you. Like 3 out of 4 runs, Sabertees have had zap on me. Just trance right through those ribbons, sure, why not, right?
Trance, I believe, does not care about ribbons, which is why Trance Revolution is so dangerous.
So trying those Brack strats, not working on the first round. We have a Tia statue, though. So the problem I have right now is I have questions I want to ask, but at the same time, I really don't want to influence the remainder of your run, Grindy.
The remainder of my run is gonna be fast and swing my sword until Kraken, and then I'll use the defense sword. So wait.
Fair enough. I was going to ask if you threw any white magic on that knight, but I don't know what white magic would be useful at this point.
I don't think there was anything good in 1 through 3 anyway, so...
Well, I don't know about that.
I mean, maybe life was there, but I don't remember. We'll go look here. I know it's not here, but I'm gonna look anyway. Take that tier 4 though.
Yeah, Tier 4 doesn't hurt to have.
I hope I'm not just holding this channel up because I'm too stubborn to quit this seed.
Oh no, apparently there's nothing left on the docket for the evening, so you're solid.
It's real nice. Ooh, unrunnable gas Ds. I don't think we saw those earlier.
No, I think I'd remember this.
Really?
Slightly stubborn Gasties.
Just all the XP in the world when you've already done your grinding. Oh gosh.
Hey, we liked it so much the first time, let's do it again.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate.
It'll happen.
Luckily it was early. Now we got a pack of perfectly runnable Ds. The zombies of the ones that he killed, you know, a couple minutes ago.
Grogers, man, they just don't want no part of that. Just all the ghosts of Dragon Pass coming in. I completely agree with LCB16's comment in chat. Grindy is most definitely the sportsman of the day. Finishing out the seed well and truly after all those troubles. This is absolutely what I love to see, is like extremely good sportsmanship and honor and just determination.
I'm just being petty now.
I'll accept pettiness too.
Oof, that Lich got no respect and didn't deserve any.
That Lich was certainly something that rhymed with Lich.
Weakling? That rhymes with Lich, right?
I was thinking of something that started with B, but yeah, sure. Bad, that's the word.
There we go. Oh, Carrie also just melting.
Yeah, that carry was just a cardboard standee.
Might as well have been Carrie 1 for how quick it went down.
I think carry 1 lasted longer.
Actually, since I went ahead and opened up the seed to find out, carry 2 apparently had less HP than carry 1.
Amazing.
Not by much, but still had less HP. Then again, Lich 2 also had less HP than Lich 1, so I mean...
Wow. Paper Topher. After this, you gotta tell me the HP differences between Kraken 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, sure. I will be more than happy to tell you anything you want to know about these fiends, because looking at them, they're kind of fascinating and annoying all at the same time. Because we didn't get to see half of what they got.
Ooh, that was a big hit from Kraken.
Yeah, Kraken wasn't packing before, but and he's not packing now either.
1404.
Yeah, it turns out that overkills by about 400.
How much HP did Kraken 1 have?
Kraken 1 had just shy of 900, Kraken 2 had just a little over 1,000.
Alright, so close.
About 150 difference overall.
Did that fighter just do 6 hits for like 20 damage?
Yeah, Tiamat. It turns out Tiamat's kind of good at soaking.
Bit of a tank. There it goes.
Tiamat making 3 out of 4 fiends that have less HP than their first counterparts.
Incredible.
In this case, Tia 2 actually had about 350 less.
But does Chaos have less HP than Chaos 1?
Well, you talked about this is Chaos 1.
No,
Garland
I'm
is
talking
Chaos
about
2. Garland is Chaos 2.
Oh, right, the
because
time
future.
loop.
So this is either Garland 2 or Garland is Chaos 1. Take your pick.
So the answer could be yes or no to which one's got more HP.
I think the answer is just simultaneously yes.
And there goes Chaos down for Grendy. GG.
That stands for both good game and good grief.
Yare does it.
Comment from chat: getting promoted while stoned. Yeah, don't we all wish we could do that?
Thank you.
Alright guys, so this is actually a screen I wanted to see. 154 out of 241 chests opened. A lot fewer chests than I thought. Grindy, do you have any final thoughts on this particular run?
Not really on this run, but just on the whole, I want to say, the comms team always says, if you're interested in this, you should run it, and you really should. I started like 2 or 3 weeks before this tournament, and it's been a blast, and every week I've had somebody come and talk to me about ways I can improve and do better, and it's been awesome. It's a whole lot of fun.
Well, we're glad to hear that, Grendy, and absolutely, if you're interested in running Final Fantasy Randomizer, go to finalfantasyrandomizer.com. Hit the randomize button. Play a seed. It's awesome. If you have questions, join the Final Fantasy Randomizer Discord. There's a link to it on the website. Also, follow our runners, Grendylicius and lifereboot. Follow our restreamer, Caleb. Follow our wonderful trackers, Darendrees and Zodecahedron. Follow my co-commentator, Sunny. And most of all, have a lovely night, everyone.